human capital. I have been, I have made and lost like tens of millions of dollars in the financial markets in the last couple of years. And today I'm going to talk about like my journey through making and losing tens of millions of dollars and the lessons that I have learned. My most important lessons have been about human programming and how human emotions work. So the story began when I was 12 years old. I was just an autistic, innocent child living in a small town in Gujarat. And like every single child in India, I had to decide between engineering and becoming a doctor. And I did not have any clue like what I want to do with my life. So I decided that like I'm going to go for engineering. My parents put me in a new high school in a new city, and I went to high school there. When I joined the high school, like I was at the bottom of my class, but I studied really hard, and I got into IIT Bombay. I went to IIT Bombay, and I studied computer science there. But when I joined IIT Bombay, within like 3 months, like I was not really very happy. Like I realized that like that was not something that I really wanted to do. And I saw everyone around me like just chasing marks, and like they were always talking about like the jobs and dream salaries that they can get. If I start my own company, then I might be able to like do the same thing on my own, and I might be able to also hire more people and like make more money. So while I was in the second semester, I started my first business. But the first business did not really work out well. And it was an educational startup where we were trying to make like online learning courses. But it did not work out, and so the startup failed. I started again, like I started my second startup in my third semester, which was more like a fintech company, and we were trying to do like mobile payments. And by the time like within 6 months, like we had 2 big contracts from big bank in India and a big bank in Singapore, and we were doing quite well. So I ran that startup for like almost like 2 years, and like we were doing quite well. We had a small team, and the startup was doing quite amazing. But in 2 years, like I kind of got bored, and like after 2 years, like we were not really getting any more new contracts. And so I was like, and then I had to close the startup because like I had a small team and like I could not pay their salaries anymore. So I closed my second startup, and so by that time, like I was already out of university without any formal education, without like any necessary skills that can get me a job, and I was like broken, and I was depressed, and I did not really know what I want to do with my life. And I was in an exploration phase. And that is why like I met this guy at a cafe, and then there was this guy. He used to trade off a cafe in Mumbai, and I always used to watch him looking at his phone, looking at his charts on his screen all the time. And so one day I decided to go up to him, and I started talking to him. That like what is he doing? And that is how like I got into trading in the financial markets. So I started trading with like $400, which was like all I had at that time. And I like put in everything that I had, and I obviously lost that money within 3 weeks' time. And so I was broke again. I was like out of university, and I did not have any education, so I was like completely shattered that time. And then at that time I took up some freelance projects, and like I did some other things to like continue like depositing more money to my trading account. And so I kept making and losing money for like almost a year and a half. And I was like constantly making money and like losing money. Sometimes like I grew almost to like $250,000, and I lost it all within a day. And so I was noticing that like something is wrong. That like I'm getting the analysis right, but like I'm not working on my emotions. And so that's why like I spend more time like learning how fear, greed, impatience, and all the emotions work within myself. And then like after that, like I became a consistent and profitable trader. So after like almost 2 years like practice and trial and error and losing a lot of money, like I became a profitable trader. And after that, like I grew quick and I grew really fast. Like I went from like literally nothing to like tens of millions of dollars within like a couple of years, and I was doing like amazing. And like when I was making money, like as a person, when you are making money, like your lifestyle changes really quickly, and my lifestyle also like changed really quickly, and like I had really some expensive hobbies. And that time I was realizing that like when I was like 15 years old, all I wanted to do was get into IIT Bombay. When I was at IIT Bombay, all I wanted was $100,000 job. When I realized that I can do more, like I started my own company. When I had my own company, I wanted to make it $1 million business. And when I had like $1 million or like tens of millions of dollars through trading, then like I wanted to like do more. I had more expensive hobbies. Like I used to buy like expensive watches every single week. And suddenly it all came to a halt when like I lost like a lot of money in April 2018. I lost like almost $15 million in a month, and then like I was completely shattered. and I did not really, after that time, like I seriously went into depression. And but I'm very grateful for those times, because that is when my journey of like self-exploration and self-learning began. That is when like I really started to like understand myself truly. And so the journey started because like that is when I also got more into meditation, and I tried to like started understanding more about like human minds and human programming, and like how does the human brain functions. 6 months ago, like when I was in a deep meditative state for like 6 hours, like I was on a meditation state for 6 hours, and then like I started questioning myself that like who am I, and like am I a human being? If we think about it, like ever since the day we are born, like we are constantly being given different identities. Let's say you are born today, and someone tells you that like you're first a human being, then your gender, like you're a man or a woman or something else. Then like people give you identity like religion, that like you're Hindu, Muslim, Christian or something, Buddhism or something else. And people give you like your parents might tell you that like this is the right thing to do, this is the wrong thing to do, this is a moral thing to do, this is a not immoral thing to do. People are always giving you like constant identities. Let's say you are in IIFT, someone will tell that like you are an MBA student at IIFT. If someone asks you that like what do you do, that like you will always recognize yourself that like you are doing this. And like we have defined, like us human beings have defined these goals. But do you ever question yourself that like how have we defined this goal, or like how does your brain exactly function? So if you think about it, if you think about the history of humanity, like we know very little about the history of humanity. The earth is like more than 4 billion years old, but like we know only like about 10,000 years of the history of humanity. And we do not really know like how human beings came into existence. Like different people have different theories about like how humans came into existence, but no one really knows like how humans came into existence. And 10,000 years ago, like all the modern religions that we follow, like Islam or Hinduism or Christianity or everything else, which defines like this is the right thing to do and this is the wrong thing to do. All those religions came into existence just 3,000 years ago. Before that, like there were no religion, there were different religions or different methods, or like human beings used to follow different rules. In the same way, like ever since the day like we are born, like we are constantly being imposed like different rules, like you should do this, you should do that, like this is the right thing to do, this is the wrong thing to do, and everyone has like different ideas and sets of beliefs that they believe in. But those beliefs are like man-made, and we have defined like what we call as faith and what we call as happiness. We have defined like what we call as sadness and what we call as joy. Let's say if I wanted to talk more about like let's say there is a homeless person on the street. The homeless person might just want to like get a home. Now let's say there is a person like who is doing a minimum wage job. Then that minimum wage job person, he might want to like make more money. Let's say there is a person making more money, then he wants to like get promoted in the business, in the company. Now if he gets promoted, then like he wants to be the CEO. Now CEO wants to like make the company bigger and bigger. Now even if the company is bigger, then like they have like different power ambitions. Let's say like for example Facebook or Mark Zuckerberg, like they want to like get it more into power games. Now when like people have power, like there is no like power is like endless and you can always have more. And now even the people who are like into have all the power and like who control the world, at the end of the day like the circle finishes and like they goes back into like weird or extreme like desires or extreme sexual desires. And so in a way like everyone just wants to be on the other side. I have a friend in London, and so he has like worked in a big company all his life and he ran a big business. Like he was always wearing like a suit and tie. And like after 40 years of like living this job, he's just excited to wear jeans and tee now. And so human beings always want to be on the other side, and which is what like everyone wants to do. Like right now, and everyone has like their own definitions of pain, their own definitions of happiness, their own definitions of joy, what they call as the right thing, what they call as the wrong thing. Now for me, now if we think about like what us human beings are, or like what we call as a right thing, or what we call as even as a living thing or as a non-living thing. Let's say I'm a human being, all my body parts are like made out of cells. All the cells in my body are like made out of biomolecules. All the biomolecules are made out of like atoms. All the atoms are nothing but like protons, electrons, neutrons. Now let's say there is this chair, or like there is this light. And all the light itself inside it also has like electrons flowing, which are like kind of same electrons which are in my body. Or let's say there is like the ceiling, or there is like silica inside. So silica is silicon dioxide, which also has like same atoms. So at the end of the day, like the universe is a lot more complex. And as human beings are defined like what we call as the right thing, what we call as the wrong thing, and what we call as the pain. And when I started to understand this and like learned about it, it made me like much more open about like human brains and like how human brains function. Like whatever I'm saying might sound like totally stupid to you, and which is fine because it is your programming, and us human beings are trained to think in a certain way that like, this is too extreme, or this is a stupid thing, or like this is a smart thing to do, or like this is the right thing to do, or this is the wrong thing to do. And when I started to think more in this way, it really immensely helped me in trading and also to like recover all my losses. When I started to understand the human beings and like how everyone always wanted to be on the other side, it made me understand people's psychology so much better and understand like make a full circle that like everyone wants to be on the other side, and like they just want to like it's a full circle of like human desires, and it made me more open about like understanding the psychology of the people, and it made me like who I am today. So I always advise people to like understand their own programming and how their brains function, and like to overcome their emotions and desires. Like pain is just a state of mind, cold is just a state of mind. Like there are like superhumans, or like there are even people who are like constantly training their mind to training their body to like feel as cold they can. So after this meditation treat in like May, like I decided to shave my head, and I decided to like just wear like toned clothes, and I decided to like beg on the streets for a day. And I was sitting on the streets like begging, even though like I know who I am, and I was like constantly noticing all the people passing by, and I realized that like how everyone was judging me, or like how everyone already made like assumptions in their mind that like this guy might be like he's uneducated, or like he's druggy, or he might be an alcoholic, or like he's stupid or something. But it made me understand that like how human brains are like trained to think in a certain manner, and it is how everyone's brain functions. So I always try to advise people to like be more self-aware, be more like have higher self-esteem, and like understand human programming. The idea is to be content while staying hungry and foolish. Thank you.